Okay, welcome everybody to the third video in the series of 3 videos that we have sent you as a pre-training for the webinar that we are going to conduct on how to coach yourself to get the results for year 2021. In the first video that we went through, we learned that change was not easy. Many times in our lives, we have tried to change. Many times we have changed, but sometimes there are certain areas in our lives that we have struggled to change it. And in spite of trying it for a large number of years, we have not been able to do so. So we acknowledge the fact that I need help, and that is okay. That is the first step to making a change, is agreeing to the fact or acknowledging the fact that to seek help and a process is pretty fine, because whatever I've done till now or so far has not worked in achievement of some of the goals that I have. Now that process, what that process should be, will be covered during the webinar. So the first was acknowledging the fact that I need help, and that is okay. In the second video, we talked about the mindset of leaders or successful leaders, and the mindset that we said successful leaders must have is, firstly, the mindset of I am successful as I stand here. So I am successful is the first mindset that they must have, and this mindset truly comes out from the past behavior, past experiences and successes one has gone through. The second mindset that a leader must have is, while I am successful, I also want to be successful now, in the moment, in the present. So such a leader not only banks upon what he has learned in the past and just doesn't bank upon the actions that he has done in the past, he also starts doing actions, taking accountability, going forward and taking responsibility and doing the task that is required to get results today. The third mindset a successful leader must have is, I am successful first, I want to be successful now, or I am successful now, and the third is, I am going to be successful in the future. And this is the mindset of learning, of self-development, so that you know that in the future, the new responsibilities that you will get will have challenges that you aren't prepared for unless you start building up some capabilities right now. So with these 3 mindsets that a leader must have, there are 3 human qualities that we talked about which enable these mindsets to happen. The human quality of courage, the human quality of humility, and the human quality of discipline. So now in this video today, we are going to talk about a very important step, and that is, how do you set goals? So there are so many myths about setting goals. I want to break those myths today and give you the reality of setting goals, because it has been found that while we have set goals in the past, all of us have failed in it. And let me tell you, it's not your fault that you have failed in it, because we did not know the fundamentals of how to set goals. We have failed in achieving those goals. It has also been found that successful people, the next thing that we understood was successful people are not smarter than us. No, it has been found and researched. Successful people who have achieved huge amount of achievements are not smarter than us intellectually, but they are better in goal setting. So with that in mind, because if you can't see the future, if you do not create a future before you have achieved it, it is very less likely that you will ever achieve that futuristic state. So let me share with you the 3 myths. The first myth is, and that most of us do, is choose easy to achieve goals. See, we are here as of now. We want to go there. Now, because we don't want to be a failure in our own eyes and in the eyes of others, we choose this there aspect slightly more at a stage where we know we'll be able to achieve. Most organizations also do it. Most of the organizations, what do they say? What has been our revenue last year? Okay, let's do 10% of it. So they know 7, 8, 9, 10% they'll be able to achieve. So they set the goals in a manner that these goals are easy to achieve. Now, what really happens is that when you set up a goal for yourself, irrespective of where the goal is, the first aspect that you will need to do is to get out of your comfort zone. You have to step out of it. Because the goal has to be slightly ahead only, right? It can't be here. It has to be slightly ahead, and for that you have to come out of your comfort zone. The moment you come outside your comfort zone, you feel pain. Because that's an area you are not very comfortable with. So you step out and you feel pain. Now, when you feel pain, you look up and try to see what the reward is, reward of achieving the goal. Now, if the reward of achieving the goal is small, you think, why do I need to go through this pain? And for what? To achieve this, the wow factor or the reward factor of achieving that goal is so less that this pain seems bigger than the wow factor or the reward of achieving the goal. And what does one do? One goes back to one's comfort zone. You step out, you feel pain, you look up and say, oh my God, for that I have to take this pain, forget it, yeah, not worth it. On the other hand, if you create a goal where the reward is much higher, or the feeling of the reward is much higher than the pain that you're going through, what are you going to do? You're going to go up, come out, feel pain, and then look at the reward and say, my God, that's what I'm going to achieve. Come on, let's take this. This pain is nothing compared to achieving that goal and the reward state that I'm going to get into. So what does it fundamentally mean is, don't choose easy to achieve goals, but choose inspiring to achieve goals. You should be inspired. Inspired is what? In spirit. So every time you take a step out, the pain is going to be the same, irrespective of the goal, what it is. If it is easy to achieve a goal, you still feel the same pain. If it is a vow to achieve goal, inspiring, the pain is still going to be the same. The only fact is, because your reward state is much higher than the pain state that you're going through, you will have the courage and the discipline to continuously walk in your journey, go into a journey of growth to achieve your goal. Okay, let's go to the myth number 2. The myth number 2 is very, very important. See, most of the time when we create a goal, we also create a plan. So the entire team comes up, we make a plan and we do it beautifully. Every single risk has been identified, resources are identified, financial requirements are identified. So you invest a lot of emotional energy and time in creating a plan for yourself. But the mistake that we make is, we assume that the plan that we make will work perfectly. See, the fact is, when you make a plan, none of us can ever think of the various dimensions of what can happen during the journey towards achieving our goal. It's impossible to even think about it. So you make a plan, you get emotionally in love with your plan. So when the plan does not move, because new environmental factors will come in, and when they come in and the plan is not going to work, you still carry on with that plan because you have invested so much time, energy and money and your emotions that you fall in love with a plan that is no more workable, but you still carry on doing it because, see, we did it, let's just continue to do it. But the fact still remains is that if you expect, and it's all about, see, the brain loves certainty. So if it's certain about something and it gets it, fine. If it is not, it feels disappointed. So if you're certain about this statement to say, my plan will succeed perfectly and I'll not be needing to make any changes in it, what's going to happen the first time your plan fails? You will get disappointed. because you expected something, but you are getting something beyond your expectation, what you did not expect. So the brain is now uncertain, and an uncertain brain is a disappointed brain. So what we have to realize is that it is good to invest our time, energy, and emotions in making a plan, but irrespective of whatever we do, our plan will not work. And when it doesn't work, we get up and clap in glee to say, wow, didn't work, didn't work, didn't work. Why? Because you know there's an opportunity for a new learning, a new doing in this failure that we have had. So what happens is, when you fail, it is an opportunity to get feedback. It is an opportunity to improve some process. It is a possibility to, or it's a feedback to know that you need some skills which your team does not have, or you need a resource which you couldn't plan for before. As John Maxwell in one of the books says, sometimes you win, sometimes you not lose, learn. So knowing the fact that whatever plan we make will not work is a very essential part of goal setting, because we must know that any plan that we make will fail for certain, and we will need to make adjustment in these plans as we go along. The learning is in the way, right? Not in planning the way. So that's the second myth we have. The first myth was, what was the first myth? Set easy to achieve goals. The reality was, select or choose inspiring to achieve goals. The myth here was having an assumption that my plan will work perfectly and I'll not need to change anything. The reality is, I know that I need to plan, but as I go into the journey of achieving my goal, because that's a journey, I'm going to need to make changes in my plan and build up capacity, which I did not think of. Hello? Hello? Yes, please? I am busy. Okay, so let's come to the third myth, myth number 3, and this is my favorite. And please don't shut down your laptop when I say this, because you will find no sense in it till you understand the meaning behind it. I promise you that. Okay. The myth is, the main reason why we set goals are to achieve. What's the myth? The myth in the belief that we are the main reason why we are setting goals are to achieve that. If I don't achieve the goal, it's worth nothing. So the main reason why we set goals are simply to grow. Fundamentally, when we are making setting an inspirational goal, what are we wanting? We are wanting, and we know that in the journey of this goal achievement, it will give us an opportunity to grow and improve ourselves. So the main reason why you set goals is to grow, full stop, nothing more, nothing less. So if I created an inspiring goal, and in this journey of growth, or in this journey of achievement of that goal, I am growing, that's good enough. If I've taken a 30% increase in revenue and I'm able to achieve 15%, I must look back and see the journey of growth that I've had and feel satisfied in this 15%, because I knew that I had taken an inspiring goal, and it is that journey of growth that gives me the satisfaction and movement forward in life. Most of the time when we do not achieve a goal, we are disappointed. There's a coachee of mine, so we were working with him, and one of his goals, so there's two professional goals we take, one personal goal. The personal goal was losing weight, and because of that, he needed to exercise. So after a month, when I again got back to a coaching call with him, I said, hi, I just take a name, Ravi, how are you? How is it going for goal number 3? He said, Pawan, I've not been able to do anything. I'm so frustrated with myself. I'm completely disappointed. I will never be able to lose my weight because I'm no good here. I said, Ravi, let's talk about what you have been able to do. So how many times did you actually go out and exercise? Because he had taken a goal of going out and exercising 5 times a day, 5 times a week. He said, Pawan, five to why he was? I just did 3 days. Sometimes, some weeks it was 4 days, but mostly 3 days in a week. I said, Ravi, how much were you being able to exercise before you took this goal? He says, zero. I was not doing anything. I said, can you even imagine what you have done? From a 0 day of exercise, you moved to 3 days of exercise. What a fantastic thing you have achieved. Why are you seeing this as a failure? It's a huge success story as far as I'm concerned and you are concerned. And do you feel better? He said, oh, yes, absolutely. I said, great. So first acknowledge what you have achieved and the growth that you have had. And having acknowledged that, now take the next steps to achieve or to move forward towards the goal that you have set for yourself. So 3 myths, very important myths. Myth number 1, choose a easy to achieve goal. Myth number 2, get into assumption to believe that my plan will work perfectly. And the third is the main reason why we set goals are to achieve them. So these 3 myths, if we understand, I can promise you our own goal setting and our own achievement in life towards achievement of goals will be far more successful than what it has been before. So looking forward to meeting you in the next webinar, where we'll go through the 7 steps of truly achieving the goal you always desired to achieve, but were not able to, and how can you make the year 2021 the best year of your life. Congratulations on being here, and congratulations on having the discipline, courage, and humility for going through all these 3 videos. Looking forward to meeting in the webinar. Best of luck and God bless.